Greetings everyone. In the last video, we drew a fish that doesn't exist. Well, it's a composite. It has to be a composite of a bunch of different things. But yeah, no, this is no reference material, just sitting around drawing pictures. Well, let's take this another level. In fact, as I sometimes do, let's turn this upside down. And we're going to try to move this scene, which of course, we have a crab that's photobombing here in the bottom, some seagrass or plants or whatever in the background, a top hat, bow tie. We're going to see if we can go to the next level for this fish. And we're going to bring this in a little tighter if I can. We're going to lock it down like so. And we're going to get to drawing it. Now, of course, I down below here have that other drawing. But for fun, we're going to draw another fish. I'm going to start off with the eye. We're going to see if we can kind of adapt it. So this isn't going to be like some sort of a evolution type thing. This is more about just taking it to another level, that somehow there was a mutation or something else going on with this creature. We'll see if we'll have my timekeeping buddy show up here soon to let me know what's going on. And by that I mean Neville the fish wanting kitty cat. I do believe most cats like fish for some reason. But we're going to make this one a little bit different. More toothy kind of thing going on with it. The mouth slightly open compared to the last one. Closing the gum line just a little bit too. Now this one, we'll do that little nostril-like thing again. But for fun, actually let me do the other eye kind of here so that we know it exists. This one, we're going to make it so that perhaps, actually let's go a little bit further here with that. We're going to allow this fish to have a much more pronounced, awesome mustache. Ooh, very nice. unnecessary. Some people call this like a soul patch. I think the last time we joked about there being eyebrows, but we're going to give it eyebrows, kind of. So aquatic creatures, for their streamlining, don't have body hair. That shouldn't be shocking to anybody, of course. They do have things that I guess could be seen as hair, maybe. They don't have ears. We're going to do a much more pronounced top hat. Than the last one. So we're being a little bit more obvious with what we're doing with this one. We're going to for sure put a feather in this. I'm going to make it a little bit more like a peacock feather. And then we'll do the top part of the hat here. I don't know where the timekeeper is. Neville the cat, who likes fish, must be hiding somewhere, which is all right, I suppose. Perhaps playing with the other cat that we have. There are two cats at the house. The other one is Luna. I did not name these cats. Now, instead of the regular pectoral fins, we're going to have these kind of extend a little bit more in cartoony fashion. We'll let that extend down there just a little bit. Yes, I realize it's silly. That's all right. give a much more pronounced bow tie. And because we're drawing with much more intention this time around, we're going to assume that this fish has adapted to wearing clothing to some degree, but we are just going to go with a collar, which we're not really going to see on this side, but a little bit more on this side. Okay. Perhaps just the collar alone, I don't know. I guess if we were so crafty, over here we could have a little bit of a sleeve, just a cuff anyway. Suppose I could have turned that into a watch. That probably would have been better because of the line that I left there. Let's go right to the body now. Do we want to have it so that we have a version of legs? I don't know yet. Perhaps we're not that far along, but we'll extend this out just a little bit compared to the last one. So these are just kind of quick scratches. And this, the upper sail that will go from the dorsal, will make this kind of like a cape, which all the cool people would have worn at one time or another. If indeed they were cool, I don't know. Gotta have pockets. I mean, if you have a thumb, you probably have a pocket. Some vests have an attachment like this, which can hold the vest a little closer to the body. Be a natural split here. Something like that. Well, that's an unusual thing that I've drawn. All right, so now we're going to try to finish this a little bit nicer by adding some shading. We'll try to add some finishing to it. pose. We'll add some glasses. These ones just clip because we don't have ears to attach this to. I think that's kind of interesting. The light shading inside the mouth for the gum line. Now I admit there were lots of moments with this where I wasn't really liking it very much. And the more sort of personality you can add to something like this, well, it kind of comes around a little bit. You know, in the last video, I sort of hinted towards something that I didn't bother to do. But we're going to change that this time. Oh, and because we're still elegant, we're going to give this fish a bit of a cane. I'll try to decide if I'm going to go with a cane that has a hook on it. I guess it could have been a billiard cue as well. That would be elegant. We'll figure that out in a moment. Okay, so let's get back into this. Kind of silly. Just working on the outline just a little bit. The pinky is funny. Now, because I often just kind of work in black and white anyway, you probably see at the beginning of the videos that I pick up amber lenses. And it's not because I need them to see beautifully. It is more about just preventing some eye fatigue for the type of lights. So really, that is what's going on. And you'll see that I use this desk pen most often. And that is because I prefer to dip the pen Okay. Just putting a little bit more ink on there because I will probably, in the final part of finishing this, bring out a brush and throw some water on that. Get to this pocket here again. Finish up a bit more of the outlines. Okay. And you know what? I am going to put a front-facing hook. But we'll do kind of a mallard nose here. Okay. We'll do a slight amount of fin work down here. But it's okay if it kind of fades just a little bit. So we're just coming up on 25 minutes. So because we've done this, let me see here, in similar fashion to the last one, have the seagrass bed here. We're going to do that again. And it won't be exactly the same. We don't have to do it that way. That's kind of interesting. Dip the pen again. We'll do a quick outline of what I just did. Okay. Can't forget the crab in the upside down. But maybe because last time I talked about it, let's change this one to being a little bit more of a lobster. Which are very unusual creatures. Some people think they're delicious. I don't know what I think of lobsters, to be honest with you. They are, as most people know, bottom feeders. So, beyond that, not really. I guess anything with butter. if butter makes things better, I guess. I don't know. Not everybody will know that that's a lobster, but you and I know that was my intention. It's weird. And again, I didn't bother to do any reference material for that. That's roughly what I think a lobster looks like. Okay. We'll also give it a little bit of distant seagrass. In a similar fashion to the last time, but not exactly. Okay. So we're at the 30-minute mark. Do a slight outline again. All right. Now, let's do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. pen, or I should say grab a brush, grab some water, and time to smudge this up a little bit. Let's see if you can watch me do that. Drag a little bit of this around so we can create a slight shadow. Add a little bit of water here, which is semi-appropriate for our underwater scene. Let's go right to this side. We'll do a little bit of shade contouring. Okay. Yeah, I am surprised that I did not get my good buddy Neville to tell me how much time I'm taking. That's usually his thing, to let me know that I'm, you know, taking too much time or taking just enough time or whatever. That's like his thing to check in on me. Right now we're just doing some brush work. A little in the gum line, a little inside the mouth, a little outside the mouth. Let's go outside the eye just a little bit. So that's interesting. Under the neck here. Although fish don't really have necks. If we're being anywhere accurate to the anatomy of the creature. They kind of do and kind of don't, so they don't turn their heads. Really, they have no need to do such things, as they are underwater creatures that try to move forward as best they can. Give that cape a bit of shadow there. 36-minute mark. Well, 36.5 minutes. So we're going to finish this up here soon. For the sketchbook time. Okay, that might be all we're going to do. Do a little bit under the collar here. Okay, rinse this brush. Get out my trusty pen one more time. Get a quick dip. And what I'll do is just a couple of spots that I think need to be darkened. I'll darken them. We don't have to go much further than this. Just because we don't have to. Throw in some elements of where the scales once were. Okay. I think that is it then for now. A little under 40 minutes for that, which kind of started off like that from yesterday, or actually a couple of days ago when I did this last video. So yeah, that to this. That is all for now, folks. And let's see if we go right. So you can see both of them. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out for a moment or so, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and perhaps we'll see you again at some point in the near future.